everybody, Christy up North Airgunner. So today I've got the FX Dynamic and I've got it in the 35 caliber configuration. And I'll tell you what, this thing is the ultimate hunting platform. So unless you've been living under a rock, you've never heard about the FX Panthera, which is really a competition-focused air rifle from FX Airguns, a lower shot capacity, but definitely it was set up for PRS style shooting with this awesome front rail system. But with that lower air capacity, as you're pushing, like, say, heavy for caliber slugs or up to a 35 caliber, you really needed more air. And so with the FX Dynamic now, we have the ability to have this rear bottle here on the rear. You can have a bottle on the front, or you can have a bottle on the rear and the front. So first, let's check out all the different configurations with the FX Dynamic. All right, so there's actually quite a few configurations with the FX Dynamic, but the three that I really want to show you today is the FX Dynamic Double Express, which is going to give you over 1,000 cc's of total air capacity, both forward and rear bottles on this thing. And then the next up is the FX Dynamic AR. So you've got a folding AR style stock, so you really can collapse this down, especially if you were to pair this with a 500 millimeter barrel. You're going to have a really compact rig. And then lastly, the FX Dynamic Express is what I'm showing here today with my setup. And I really like this with this rear bottle. It gives me a lot of shot count. So now we know why it's called the Dynamic. You can have all these different ways of putting this together. And it's all based on the Dynamic block. And really, it's the valving system that's in here, the over-the-barrel plenum system here. This is really what's allowing you to push these heavier slugs and getting that awesome performance that I'm seeing in my testing of this thing. So with the bottle on the back, I'm getting a ton more shots. Bottle up front would give you even more. I definitely am probably going to put another 580 cc bottle here on the front to get just even more shots, so that way I can do a whole day of hunting and not worry about any kind of air issues. So in my testing, I wanted to verify a couple different things before I could really say this is a true hunting platform, and that first thing was precision and accuracy. So to test this, I got a 50-yard zero, I pushed it out to 100 yards, and I'm using the FX hybrids here in this video clip, and I'm well over 1,000 feet per second, just to see how fast and how hard I could push these and still maintain any semblance of accuracy at 100 yards. And I'm holding around a 1-inch group. And what's crazy about this is look at the efficiency of this valve and the consistency of this valve. Just the standard deviation and the extreme spread of velocity is insanely tight, and that is what's going to really matter at long ranges. So for the ultimate test for me to really see how accurate and precise this thing is I really needed to have a rematch against Josh from Pursuit of Accuracy, because if you've been watching my channel, he consistently just kicks my butt.
Oh! God.
There it is.
Oh! Too much. Oh!
So I was able to visit him in North Carolina. We were able to go head-to-head with his 30 cal Dynamic.
You can love her ARCA. I mean, I love it. I can't function without it because for me, I mean, for what we do, you got to have something like this.
Yep.
But I mean, if you got a bottle up here, you just can't do some of this stuff. Be able to shoot. This is props you're going to shoot at in competition. I mean, it's just easy. I got more crops over here. And even if you're a hunter, I get it, you know, like a ladder. Probably not going to have a ladder around you when you're hunting, but even if you had to come up to some sort of little stump or something like that, there's benefits to having something this easy that's going to be flat on here. And this I haven't even added weights to, but just the fact that this sits so flat on here, and you can see this is not steady. I mean, this would be like a tree limb.
Yep.
But having that flat support on the bottom, I mean, you can make shots, and that, you know, that's not a teeny tiny target, but that is any squirrel ever birds in the U.S. or smaller at 50 yards without anything. You know, I'm carrying a little bag and this lightweight rifle. So
yeah,
if you're kind of in doubt about whether or not this is useful, I mean, this is not going to bother you at all. This is going to benefit you so much. iPods, tripods, and just having that flat surface, because this is not flat.
Yep.
You don't want something that's not flat.
It's just basically, it's going to rock back and forth.
Flat, yeah. Yeah, it's just, this is the way to go for sure.
Awesome. Cool. All right, Josh, let's see if we can run that KYL.
Let's do it.
Ooh, don't mess it up.
Oh, the quarter. Oh.
Oh! There you go.
I broke it a little right. Just a little right. That quarter is like the size of that stadia line in there, and I just kind of was favoring right. I was trying to play the win.
Yep.
You hear that nice thunk? It hits them harder than you would think. Yeah, but listen to the valve though.
Oh yeah, the valve's super quiet.
You almost hear like that metallic conk.
What does it do again?
Conk.
Okay, can you make it?
Yeah, baby!
It's an inappropriate amount of excitement.
This is the amount of excitement for somebody who doesn't run a KWell clean very often.
You want to go first?
Go first.
All right, you go first. Show me how it's done.
Sharon, I got to go 1 for 1 here. All right. I guess I'm going to find out whether it's zeroed or whether I can shoot.
Nice.
Oh,
Ooh, right over the top. Can see it, that one. There you go. Right over the top. There you go.
The small guy now.
There you go.
Woo, and I'm not telling you anything about where it hit. Let me
not-
load you back up.
That ain't bad though, man.
No, I struggle a little bit. I'm not a good pistol guy.
Okay.
We're going to see if you are.
You know, I always like talking about my military service on my channel, but you know, I did shoot expert, but it was like in 1998.
Thank you for your cervix.
Shut up.
All right.
All right, hold on.
There's
All right, ready? All right,
Go ahead.
1,
Oh, you hit it.
2, 3.
This is bull.
This is bull crap.
What's up? Yeah! You know what, Josh? Beating you on your own range with the FX Dynamic, that was pretty awesome. But then to be able to do it with 22 long rifle firearm pistols on top of that, man, that is just sweet, sweet revenge. All right, so now that we've got that settled, back to the FX Dynamic review. So at the 700 millimeter configuration, we're up to 200 foot-pounds of energy. But this 500 millimeter barrel setup, this is getting about 135 foot-pounds of energy. And one of the biggest reasons is this new breech area. We've got the ability to put larger or longer slugs into this thing. So I haven't tested this yet, but I believe you can get up to about 125 grain, 35 caliber slug in this. You're really going to get a lot of energy and a lot of power out of that. So I also wanted to see, what can we do with up to that 200 foot-pounds of energy? What can we do? Because now you got the hybrids, you got hollow points, you got solids. So with all those different ammo options, I wanted to see what are all the different types of hunting we could do with this thing. Small game, medium-sized game, up to maybe a smaller, large game animal, like maybe a small doe during like the early doe season. So I wanted to start testing some of the terminal performance on some of these projectiles. So first off, I wanted to see, just using these FX hybrids, I want to see just dumping all that energy, what would happen. Well, I field dressed the the watermelon, and there was the entry hole, and I think the exit actually came out the bottom there. So, all right, here we go. All right, so we know we can absolutely just annihilate fruit. So that equates to, let's say, a small game, medium-sized game like raccoons or coyotes. Using those FX hybrids, you know, where you don't really need a lot of penetration. You're dumping all that energy. Smoked them. And it's just, the terminal performance is absolutely wicked. But let's say we want to get up into, let's say, a pig or a ram or maybe a small deer. We want to start looking at some penetration. You really want to have to be able to get through the heart and lung area. Ideally, you would like to have an exit on the backside. And really, to do that, you really need to be using a solid. So the best way to demonstrate this is I actually went out with some FBI rated gel, and I want to show you the difference between the kind of energy dumping you get from like a hybrid versus a solid where you're getting a lot more penetration. So let's check that out. So now that you've seen those test results, you can see the difference of why dumping all that energy on maybe a larger game animal really isn't the ideal outcome, and you really want to be using those solids to get all that deep penetration. And especially like a lot of times, even with pigs or rams or like a small deer, that the game animals aren't often standing completely broadside to you. So say you like a quartering away shot, you have all that extra meat, tissue, fur, possibly bone. You really want to be able to get through both lungs. And so that angling shot, you really want to have that penetration. So now with the FX Dynamic, we know we can go after everything from small game, medium-sized game, and maybe a small deer-sized animal. So the other thing I want to talk about today is the Element HYPR 7. I just wanted to do a quick overview on this. I've been testing this over the last couple of months. I've been able to use this across so many different hunting implements that I'm using. Obviously, I've got it here on the Dynamic. So I've got my ballistics calculator set up in the Element Ballistics app. And basically, you can just pair that with this and send all of your drop charts and everything, your reticle configurations, and your zero gets remembered in the memory of this scope. But you can have up to 4 different profiles in this thing. So I've tested this on my crossbow. I've tested this on many other air guns, some of my big bore air guns. So this right here is going to be my hunting optic for the deer hunting season. So one of the coolest things about this, it has a bunch of different sensors in it. But one of the coolest sensors is the fact that it actually knows at what incline your point of aim is. And so this has something called the live BDC reticle in this. So as you're pointing up or you're pointing down, that reticle is adjusting itself to basically dynamically tell you where your point of aim should be. So definitely check out the Element HYPR 7. It's going to be available here soon in a lot of different stores. So there it is, the FX Dynamic. We've been actually having so much fun this summer. I actually got my hands on this the first time over at the Rocky Mountain Airgun Challenge. Rick Kareem from Shooter 1721.
Well, fancy meeting you here.
Hey, do I know you?
I think you do.
How did 2 air gunners... Where are we?
This right here is where we are going to make magic happen. What do you think, Rick? Let's get that range set up, right?
I think so.
All right, man.
So we went out to the desert out there, and we were shooting some really long range stuff as we were getting ready for competition.
That's 400 yards. Oh, right above it. I missed it by like 2 inches.
Oh my god.
Is it?
Oh my god.
Dude, did you see that?
That was
400 yards.
unreal.
Dude, the Element Optics app is like dead nuts on. That's crazy. That's 400 yards.
So my buddy Keith from 68 Whiskey out there, and he's just taking his big bore air guns and he's hitting targets out at 400 yards.
Oh, they broke it! He broke it! Oh, we gotta go look at that. We gotta
go. Definitely check out the article that Keith just wrote for Outdoor Life. It's a great overview of Airgun 101. So if you're just getting into air guns, definitely look at that article because it talks you through everything from what kind of air source you need, just an overview of PCP air guns in general. So huge congratulations to Keith for having that article in Outdoor Life. Definitely check out these shirts from Utah Airguns. Shout out to Justin Jacobson for getting me this thing. Great summertime attire.
I'm sexy and I know it. I'm sexy and I know it.
Okay, so you might not think that was sexy, but what you might think is sexy is joining the FX Legion. So this FX Legion is an interactive and fun way to earn money towards FX Legion store products, which is an exclusive shop that has all the FX products specifically for Legionnaires. The Legion members participate in several types of missions, from voting on new product names, ideas, scavenger hunts, competitions, and more. So definitely get signed up and check that out. Link is below. So there it is, everybody, the FX Dynamic. I'm definitely going to be running this thing a lot of different hunting configurations. So September 15th here in Michigan is the start of the small game season. and then we go into the early deer season, and then we go into the later deer seasons in the year. So I'm going to be slinging a lot of different projectiles from this FX Dynamic. Stay tuned with Up North Air Gunner. Thanks for joining me. Take care.
Check these out, baby. Utah Airguns electric motorcycles. We're probably gonna end up in the hospital. We both end up in the hospital.
We'll end up in the hospital.
It's all right.
3 laps. Ready, set, go. Go. Yeah! Woo! I think my throttle was stuck. Nice! Dude. All right, boys. At the drop of the hat, it has to hit the ground. Ready? Oh, man! Oh! Oh! Race it. Oh, yeah! Okay. Oh, he cleared it! When you start laughing because you know what you're doing is stupid.
This is so stupid.
Oh!
We'll start over. We'll start over. Right, Gene?
You are so proud of yourself.
I'm sexy and I know it.